During a breast exam of a 56-year-old woman, the physician found a palpable mass in her breast. Which of the following characteristics of breast cancer and its diagnosis is correct? A. Elevated nipple. B. Polymastia. C. Shortening of the clavipectoral fascia. D. Dimpling of the overlying skin. Or E. Enlargement of the breast. The correct answer is D. Dimpling of the overlying skin. Breast cancer may cause dimpling of the skin because of shortening of the Cooper's ligaments, also known as the suspensory ligaments of Cooper, and it can also cause an inverted or retracted nipple because of pulling of the lactiferous ducts. Polymastia is a condition in which more than two breasts are present and is, of course, not caused by breast cancer. A patient with a stab wound receives a laceration of the musculocutaneous nerve. Which of the following conditions is most likely to have occurred? A. Lack of sweating on the lateral side of the forearm. B. Inability to extend the forearm. C. Paralysis of the brachioradialis muscle. D. Loss of tactile sensation on the arm. Or E. Constriction of blood vessels on the hand. The correct answer here is A. The musculocutaneous nerve indeed contains sympathetic postganglionic fibers that supply sweat glands and blood vessels on the lateral side of the forearm as the lateral antebrachial cutaneous nerve. The lateral antebrachial cutaneous nerve is a branch of the musculocutaneous nerve, and it is this nerve which is responsible for supplying sweat glands on the lateral side of the forearm. The musculocutaneous nerve does not supply the extensors of the forearm and the brachioradialis. It is true that it supplies tactile sensation on the lateral side of the forearm, but not the arm. Also, it does supply blood vessels on the lateral side of the forearm, but not the hand. The victim of an automobile accident has a destructive injury of the proximal row of carpal bones. Which of the following bones is most likely damaged? A. Capitate. B. Hamate. C. Trapezium. D. Triquetrum. Or E. Trapezoid. The correct answer here is D. Triquetrum. We actually have a separate video, a mnemonic to remember the carpal bones or the wrist bones. For orientation, this is a schematic of the right hand. The right hand. This side here on the left is the medial side, and to the right is the lateral side. Starting with the proximal row, we have the mnemonic. Some lovers try positions, and then in the distal row, that they can't handle. Some lovers try positions that they can't handle. Let's try it out. Starting with the proximal row, the scaphoid, the lunate, the triquetrum, and therefore the correct answer is the triquetrum as it belongs in the proximal row, the pisiform, then the distal row, the trapezium, the trapezoid, the capitate, and finally the hamate. Some lovers try positions that they can't handle. Some lovers try positions that they can't handle. Scaphoid, lunate, triquetrum, pisiform, trapezium, trapezoid, capitate, and hamate. These are the 8 carpal bones. A patient bleeding from the shoulder secondary to a knife wound is in fair condition because there is vascular anastomosis around the shoulder. Which of the following arteries is most likely a direct branch of the subclavian artery that is involved in the anastomosis? A. the dorsal scapular artery, B, the thoracoacromial artery, C, circumflex scapular artery, D, the transverse cervical artery, or E, the suprascapular artery. The correct answer is the dorsal scapular artery. The dorsal scapular artery arises directly from the subclavian artery. This is the subclavian artery, and the dorsal scapular artery is a direct branch. The suprascapular artery and the transverse cervical artery are branches of the thyrocervical trunk over here. But the thyrocervical trunk is in turn just a branch of the subclavian artery. The thoracoacromial artery is a short trunk from the first or second part of the axillary artery, which is not shown here. A construction worker suffers a destructive injury of the structures related to the anatomic snuff box. Which of the following structures would most likely be damaged? The correct answer here is E, the radial artery. The radial artery, as shown in this illustration, forms the floor of the anatomic snuff box. The other choices here are not related to the snuff box. Rather than these choices, it is actually the tendons of the extensor pollicis longus, the extensor pollicis brevis, and the abductor pollicis longus, which form the boundaries of the anatomic snuff box. The scaphoid and the trapezium bones are the carpal bones which form the floor. A rock climber falls on his shoulder, resulting in a chipping off of the lesser tubercle of the humerus. Which of the following structures would most likely have structural and functional damage? The correct answer here is C, the subscapularis muscle. The subscapularis muscle inserts on the lesser tubercle of the humerus, as shown in this schematic. On the other hand, the supraspinatus, the infraspinatus, and the teres minor muscles insert on the greater tubercle. The coracohumeral ligament, the last choice, also attaches to the greater tubercle. Therefore, it is only the subscapularis muscle which inserts on the lesser tubercle. A 24-year-old carpenter suffers a crush injury of his entire little finger. Which of the following muscles is most likely to be spared? The correct answer is D, the dorsal interosseous muscles. The dorsal interossi are abductors of the fingers, and the little finger actually has no attachment for the dorsal interosseous muscle because it has its own abductor. Therefore, this muscle would not be affected. The rest of the choices here are muscles which are attached to the little finger, and therefore these muscles will be injured. A 10-year-old boy falls off his bike and fractures the surgical neck of his humerus. Which of the following nerves is most likely injured as a result of this accident? The correct answer here is B, the axillary nerve. This is because the axillary nerve runs posteriorly around the surgical neck of the humerus and is therefore vulnerable to injury such as a fracture or an inferior dislocation of the humerus. The other nerves listed are not in contact with the surgical neck. A 10-year-old boy falls off his bike and fractures the surgical neck of his humerus. Which of the following arteries is most likely injured as a result of the accident? The correct answer here is C, the posterior humeral circumflex artery. The posterior humeral circumflex artery accompanies the axillary nerve as they pass around the surgical neck of the humerus. None of the other artery choices are involved. In an attempt to obtain a blood sample from a patient's median cubital vein, a med student inadvertently procures arterial blood. The blood would most likely come from which of the following arteries? And the artery involved would be A, the brachial artery. The median cubital vein lies superficial to the bicipital aponeurosis over here, which separates it from the nearby brachial artery. Therefore, the brachial artery may be punctured during intravenous injections and blood transfusions around the antecubital fossa.